Monday, February 23, 2026, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. You're watching Call for Two, and you're joining me for, I believe, session 4 of our Etherfields playthrough. You can see I've got the dream world set up. We ended the last session having traversed the dream world to the destination of the dream we've chosen to tackle next. I've restored our state. We've got 5 ether, 2 keys, 1 gem, 1 card in hand, 3 progress cards laid out, a mechanical shotgun that allows us to assault, an assistant that allows us to place more progress cards, and a builder that lets us have a total of 6 progress cards and also lets us charge up the shotgun or a bomb every time we reshuffle our deck. We are wearing the Mask of Devotion, which increases our hand size from 6 to 8. We've got 2 items ready in front of us. One called Little Helpers, which lets us re-roll any die and doesn't go away when you use it for that purpose, or discard it to restore an item from our storage, or just use it for 4 green. And we have a card that was very useful in the dark that lets us light up the current tile for 1 turn. We are in the season of ordinary days, which means no change to the rules. I do want to talk about this card and miniature here before we get started, but let's check in with the chat and see how everyone is doing. SR is feeling a little down. I'm feeling pretty stressed myself through some combination of New York Noir work just pounding away at me and an upcoming trip. We've got a small little group here today of 10 viewers. In this session, we're going to be jumping straight into a dream, but what we do after we finish that dream remains to be seen. There were 2 dreams that we've unlocked so far. Well, 3, and we went into 1. We've chosen to go into the one we most recently encountered, which is Basements Are Calling. That's in Pandemonium where we are. We could have alternatively gone up here, but this says that this is a rest. When the world burns, you can always rest in the past. And we thought, well, we don't really need a rest, so we'll put this off. It does feel like a big part of Etherfields is sort of timing your rest, because you've got this awakening action that you can take whenever you want, and it basically heals you up to full power but discards any keys. And then there's loot you gain if you kill something at exactly the right time. So it feels like a big chunk of this game is figuring out when timing the resting, timing the completion of missions and resting. So we're not deciding where to go. We know where we're going. We are playing on the version 1 maps here. Version 1 of the Dream World map, which makes you encounter slumbers more frequently, does seem to have more places to go shopping. It is a little bit of a shame that we haven't gone shopping first. Maybe that was a miscalculation on our part, because we do have 5 ether we could have used to go shopping. I do think we'll want to go shopping soon after. I can see that after this dream, this place lets us jump anywhere. So maybe after this, we'll either jump to shopping or jump to the next dream gate. All right, let me talk about this flying cat. So we've got a user in our Discord who's been following, who's played a lot of Etherfields. We've got a couple people who've played a lot of Etherfields who are joining us and are happy to see this playthrough. And Ghost Drive said, hey, go into that stretch goals box behind you on the wall and go get the flying cat, which is what we're looking at here. It's a little scared cat who's got his paws over his eyes. He's got wings and he's sitting on a branch. And apparently the flying cat was something added in Wave 2 and is not really in the rules proper, but you're advised you can take the cat and add him whenever you want, and mainly designed for solo or small groups. And let's read the rules of the flying cat. The flying cat's a companion. At the start of each dream or slumber, you just drop him in one of the starting places. And then you can, at any time during your turn, you can spend one of any intent to move him 1 space. Now, I read that you can't spend 3 intent to move him 3. You basically have to just spend a chunk at a time. Everything else is wasted. So 1 card's worth of intent to move him 1 space. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't interact with monsters. Monsters don't go after him. But what you can do then is you can spend a blue gem, which are very hard to come by, to jump and transport to the cat. The cat sort of night crawlers you into his space. So this doesn't feel like something you're going to be doing often, but it's sort of a Hail Mary way to traverse the map. And I guess the idea is if you were multiple players, you might spread out quite a bit. But if you're a solo player, it might be very hard for you to get someplace on the board. So it seems like we'll strategically be using this little cat to maybe travel to some distant place that we might need to emergency jump to. It does also feel like we could have used this to get out of our being trapped in a labyrinth or something. It feels like a little cheaty to be able to do that. But it's not cheap. And in fact, we've frequently had games where we didn't have a gem to use. Blue gem, we only have one. Although, maybe this is a good time to remind you that we've got some unusual actions that we very rarely take. But look what one of them is: 3 influence cards to gain a gem. I am a big fan in general of having these things that can be used in emergencies, like to re-roll a really bad roll. So I'm not against spending a turn sort of preparing by building up a little bit of gem supply. And remember that in general, the gems don't disappear, although let me remind you how weird this awakening thing is. If you perform this awakening step to heal up all your distress and unseal all your cards, you lose all keys and gems. So it's actually pretty unusual. In fact, I don't know any other campaign game that works like this, which basically says you keep playing, and game after game, you don't reset your supplies, you don't shuffle your deck, you don't fix your injuries, you don't clear your distress, you don't shuffle. So you keep going with what you've got until you do this kind of reset rest if you're in trouble, at which point you lose all your harm, you reshuffle your deck, you lose all your distress, but you also lose any good stuff that you've accumulated. It's a pretty cool idea. The rest dream said the James will be useful in the hint, so might want to bulk up on them. Is that right? I mean, I suppose we should start looking at these, right? This is the dream we're going to tackle next. Let's see what it says. When the world burns, you can always rest in the past. Hint, you will rest here and your shining gems will start truly shining. I guess that does sound like they'll be useful, or we'll get them. I'm not 100% sure. It is interesting to see what it's going to cure. It's going to cure 2 distress and unseal or unseal top 2 cards. So we can afford to take some distress or some unsealed cards and maybe not try to balance it, right? Because frequently we get these choices like either unseal 3 or heal 3. So it's kind of bad if you like seal 1 and get 1 distress. Better to go all in on 1. All right, here is the dream we are actually playing. So let's take a look at what this is. It takes 2 keys, which we have. We are in Pandemonium, so we're going to spend these 2 keys. All right, now let's see what it says. Cure 3 or unseal the top 3. Well, we don't have anything sealed or we don't have any distress, so we're kind of don't benefit from these. It's unfortunate that it would have been nice if it said unseal 3, cure 3, or get an ether. I feel like maybe we need to start house ruling that. Should we house rule it and give ourselves a gem? It feels like if you don't need this benefit, you should get a benefit. Or I won't do it this game, but I think in future games we might do that. Then it says reveal tile X. It's your first exploration tile. Okay, so when it doesn't have numbers, it means it's from the 239 dream. So I'm going to go get out 239X. $239X. 239X is not an exploration card, so something is wrong. What am I doing wrong? sorry, take all the 113 secret cards and tiles. Okay, thank you. Let's do that first. Maybe that explains it. Okay, I see. Here are all the 113 tiles. And then 113 cards. You've seen all my 3D printed stuff here. Okay, 113 cards and 113 tiles. And then get out X, which says on it exploration. All right, we don't need our dream world anymore. We're going to get out the exploration and put on the table. Okay, reveal tile X. So here is tile X. Okay, we are in some nuclear toxic waste dump building with lots of walls. Leaking pipes, cupboards, a hatch, a door, lots of walls. A hidden restroom. Okay. And something we've never seen before, some terrain effect. All right, I will just put this at B2 where it says to put it. Let's see what else we've got. Place one of the tile Z, the one with the most lights, face down. So one of the unusual things about this game is sometimes there are multiple tiles with the same letter, same number. And it says, go get the one with the most lights. I guess that's the 3. Face down on the dreamscape. You can access the tile Z through several entrances, but it won't be easy as you have to place exploration tiles accordingly. All right, let's take a look at what this says. When all dreamers are on this tile, discard the butcher. Uh-oh, the butcher. Take the 3 exploration tiles to your hand. Do not place them back until the game tells you to do so. Flip this tile and place all dreamers in the space. Okay, take all 3 exploration tiles. Do you think that means all the Z's? No, face down. Oops, don't look at that. All right, well, I'm just going to put this in B4, face down. We're going to start there somewhere. Reveal tile V. Okay, tile V is here. Don't spawn the butcher yet. Yikes. All right, so here is this entity. That looks pretty scary. It's called a tormentor. You can assault him for 8 rage, 8 wrath to get rid of him. That's a lot. And he moves very quickly, and he's got a big bone scythe of some sort. And the way he works is he will spawn on blue or morph if he's already out. And if you're in a toxic waste site, when the red event triggers and he's out, you have to seal a card. All right, so he is coming out, but not spawned yet. He's just out. It's a pretty creepy looking little creature here. All right, now reveal card A, which is here. If it's still in the game, which it is, place it next to the butcher tile. It's the butcher and spiders. Look at these spiders. Place this card next to the butcher. It's active until this dream ends. Each dreamer in a space with spiders seals 2 cards. And for 5 assault, you can open the hatch and release the spiders. Release the spiders? Or release them from the game? Also a little ambiguous for my taste. So let me show you that what it means, space with spiders. Like there's a space with a spider, there's a space with a spider, there's a space with a spider. So the spiders are everywhere. Okay, and then we put this out near this. It's the butcher and spiders. All right, what's next? Place 2 tiles Y, which are the remaining exploration tiles, in such a way that at least one of them is adjacent to the X and the other to the tile X or Y. Also, you must have at least one open passage between these tiles. You may rotate the tiles Y in any way before placing them. So there's our X. That's where we're starting. And what does it want us to do with these two? Put one adjacent to this card. One adjacent to this card. And one adjacent to either this card or this card. Okay, so here's this one. Can rotate it any way we want, but you must have one open passage between these tiles. Sorry, so we couldn't do this because there's no way to get between these. But we could do this. Then you could come over here. And it feels like that's the only way you could do it on that side. I don't know if we need to get over here. It seems like that's not really... I'm not sure we're going to need to actually travel to there. We can't put it here, but we could put it here. We have to put these sequentially? No, it feels like we can do them both. All right, so this one you have to travel through. I'd almost like to... It's too bad. I almost want to put these in a row. And this is not going to work. I guess that would work. We would be allowed to do that. Like that would be legal, right? One next to the X, the other one next to the I or the Y. Or we could do this. It'd be nice to kind of read these if we had a choice. I think that's the way to do it in terms of being able to read these cards. So one is next to the X and one, they're both next to the X, which is legal. But I guess it would be easier for us to walk around if we could travel through them rather than having to split up. How do we do that? How do we make it so that we... How do we make it so that we don't have to... There we go. That's the way to do it if we want to not have to split in different directions. Or I suppose... No. All right, let's do this. This seems like the way to make it easiest for us to get to it rather than having to go different directions. Hopefully that won't come back to bite us. All right, that's the Y tiles. You must have at least one open passage between the tiles. You can rotate them in any way. All right, so turn deck 12. 12 turns we're going to have. So that's all of our turn cards. There is a hint, huh? What is the hint? Hint. Soon you'll look for hidden signs and details. Okay, I guess we're going to look at these cards before we even start and look at them. I see the hatch is up here, and I see some weird stuff here. We are going to read the introduction, but let me get the turn cards out. Anything else to set up? All right, let's look again now. That's our setup. Now we get to read the back of this. Wow, look at all this. The goal is to reach the heart of the underground. Special rules. All Z tiles are placed normally without rotating them. All right. Exploration. You will progress by taking exploration tiles off the dreamscape and placing them again, forming a changing labyrinth. You may take an exploration tile off the dreamscape if all dreamers are far enough, meaning they are not on it or on the neighboring one. Discard all tokens from the taken tile, and if there is an entity, place it on any toxic waste site. Then place that exploration tile in a way that it is adjacent to any other exploration tile. If there's at least one open passage between them, and there is at least one open passage between them, you may rotate the tile. So actually, look, this is pretty good for us that we've come up with this, because if we move this, oh no, that doesn't work. I was thinking we could, oh yeah, look. If we put this here, we can go through it and maybe get onto this tile. So that might not be so bad for us this way out. Reach the heart of the underground. Okay. So you move far away from a tile, and then you can pick up the tile and you put it where you want it. Light. If a space is lit, the basic cost of each map action on this space is lowered by 1. All right. So all the printed costs are lowered by 1. If we light it up, they're starting out all in darkness. All right, let's put this off to the side. So I guess we can put it here. All right, before we read our introduction, let's take a good look at these tiles. Here's where we're starting. So I see spiders. I see a water terrain that we don't know what that means. We can check the hole in the wall. We can check the mirror. There's a hatch and cupboards. We can check the bars in this room, whatever that means. We can check this fan here. There's a gate of some sort here. What is this? Is this the kind of hidden sign it's talking about? Like, look at this. We don't know what that is. That doesn't have any innate meaning. All 3 of these are dangerous tiles when it comes to the spiders. What do you think this means? And what does the water mean? And what was our rule about the hatch? Oh, it was on our spider card. So if you're in a space with a hatch for 5 wrath, you can open the hatch and release the spiders. Why is it worded like that? Does it mean open the hatch and let the spiders out? It already looks open. Maybe this hatch is already open and there's another hatch that we can... There are other hatches, in fact. All right, let's take a look at this other tile above us. So there's a tight passage, forgotten train tracks. There's an old workbench. There's upper floors. Looks like there might be some items on this workbench. There's another hatch here. There's a bunch of toys. All these interesting toys and a steel door and spiders that look like they're in a cage. Kind of like to check out these toys. I'd like to find out what the hatches do. Hidden signs, huh? I mean, okay. And then this tile furthest away from us, there's a spawn point where an enemy's going to come. So unfortunately, he's going to appear where we want to go. We can check the old furniture in the dilapidated basement. There's a shattered column. That's weird. Rubble. And then a pipe I can move through. I can move through this pipe. What pipe? Do you see a pipe? Oh, he's talking about this. It's very frequent that the words refer to something on another pipe. Can move through this pipe, but no action to move through it. No action we can take to say we want to move through that pipe. Kind of weird. All right, let's put this back however we had it, like that. And then, reminder, when all dreamers are on this tile, discard the butcher. All right, so we could walk over to that without too much trouble, although we do have to walk past where the bad guy's going to come out. All right, I guess we should read the introduction. The hint for this one says to look for hidden signs in detail. Probably need to pay extra attention to the tile art, a bit like the Seventh Citadel and the shifting tunnels. I don't remember the shifting tunnels in the Seventh Citadel. Oh, underground. Were they shifting? All right, so let us decide where to go. I suppose that... Oh, look at this hidden restroom. We can't even get to that hidden restroom. That's interesting. Because of the way we've laid out our board, we can't get to the hidden restroom. Oops, only if we rearrange the tile will we be able to get there. But we could start out and open up this hatch and see what happens. Maybe that's what we want to do. Maybe we want to learn about the hatches sooner rather than later. I'm inclined... 5 assaults it would take to open the hatch. I'm sort of inclined to find that out sooner rather than later. But maybe we just make a run for it. Now I'd kind of like to get into this hidden restroom. What's the rule again about moving a tile? We can't be on it. Not on it or on the neighboring one. I see. You have to be 2 away to bring it out. Okay. The bars are the bars of a jail cell between the upper and lower quadrant on B2. Yeah, but there's no wall. I wonder if this means we can... Do you think this means we can't just cross it? The rules don't say we can't cross it, but it kind of feels like we're not allowed to cross it. Do you think that's the idea here, that we're not allowed to cross that? It kind of feels like maybe we're not allowed to cross it, even though the rules don't say we can't cross it. I think maybe we can't cross it. Should we reevaluate then our plan? If we think we can't cross it, then maybe we need to put these someplace else. Like maybe we need to go the long way around. What if that gate is gonna block us? Do we need to make a different route? We go this way, can't go into that room. We go this way, can't really do that. We could do this. Maybe let's stick with our... Oh, what about this? No. This could be a compromise. At least if we can't get through this gate, we could come down this way, but it's not ideal. How about... Does that work? Not really. I suppose it depends how quickly we want to get here. Trying to give us an alternative if we get stuck at those gates. Maybe we can close the gate behind us. All right, let's try this. Let's at least give ourselves some room to explore if we get stuck. All right, I've rearranged it a little bit. It's not a clear path here, but we'll have to go and do some exploring. It's not great. All right. I'm not sure. Let's just leave it like this. All right, let's read our introduction. Maybe that'll make things a little clearer. S906. Step after step, rubble cracks under our shoes. We've been here for an hour, and within that time, everything has changed beyond recognition. The entrance was actually inconspicuous, just a crack in the building under renovation. Then the narrow concrete corridor turned several times. One of the doors led to a much longer hall, ending in a steel gate. Through there, things changed considerably again. We passed several offices which hadn't been used for years, an old theater, dilapidated toilets, long dark corridors and pipes, and then we knew that we were in the middle of the endless basements. So we finally found this place. All right, well, that's it. All right, the first turn is this. So it's going to morph, which means he's going to come out. That's his ability. He comes out on this morphing action. That's too bad for us. So he's going to morph, and then he's going to hurt everyone in a toxic. And then, well, let's do it this way. It's easier for you to see. He's going to spawn, and he's going to spawn here. And then if we're in a toxic space, we'd steal a car. Well, they're all toxic, except I suppose if we got ourselves here, it's not toxic. Stealing a card, it's not the worst thing. And then he's going to move. So he's going to come out. Of course, we don't even know if we can get here. But maybe we can kill him. He's going to keep coming back out, though. If we kill him, he's going to keep coming back out. It's unfortunate. All right, well, let's take our turn. 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have to be drawing up a new hand soon. And let's bring out the cat. The flying cat is starting out on this space. Maybe we'll move him around a bit. What have we got here? We can turn the light on. Why do we care about the lights? Where was the darkness thing? What was the rule about darkness? If you're in a space with spiders, that's only when the red triggers. Okay, so when this red triggers, not only are we punished if we're in toxic, but if we're in spider, we lose 2 cards. So we really don't want to be in a spider space or a toxic space. Okay, if we put a light, we can do things cheaper, but that doesn't really help us that much. What is our plan? Yikes. What is our plan? I guess we want to get over here. Maybe I should have left my original thing. Okay, if we can get up here, then we can move this tile, which might get rid of the... Well, no, that's not good. It'll make it closer to us. Okay, maybe we go here and we try to do these bars, and we hope that there's something we can do, and we leave this hatch alone. So I'm going to start us here. I'm going to start us here, and the bird can start here. The flying cat can start there, and we're going to look at these bars. We could light up this room to do this for 2, but do we really want to? I guess maybe we do. All right, let's light up the room. So we just use the light to put it here. We roll the dice to see if the light disappears. Can you see that? It doesn't, only on an X, so our flashlight still works. Now we're going to try to check the bars for 2. Here's our 2 green. All right, checking the bars is reveal card B. From now on, you may use bars. This card is active until this dream ends. If you're in a space with bars, you may close them or open them. Dreamers or entities cannot move or count range through bars. So it starts open. We can walk through it, and then we can close it behind us. That will keep the creature from getting to us. That's pretty great. Okay, but it costs us 2 to do that. So we are going to do that because he's coming right out here. And he's going to move. And we'd like to get on the other side of that before he gets to us. So let us use this card to walk across that for 1. We need 2 green to close that. So there's our 2 green. Okay, so we got to walk across it with something else. Can we get away from these spiders? We kind of can. All right, so let's use this to walk across the gate. Then we're going to spend 2 green, which are right here, to close that gate. Now, the cat flies above it all, so don't worry about the cat. So this is going to disappear. We don't care about that. The guy is going to come out here. He's not going to be able to get us, so we're pretty safe. We have a 2 movement. So if we wanted to, we could move away from the toxic gas. There is toxic gas and spiders here. There's toxic gas and spiders everywhere. If we moved 3, we would be actually safe from the toxic gas and the spiders. We could try to do that, or... Well, we can't. We don't have 3 green to check the fan, so we're not going to be doing that. I think we should try to get ourselves into this safe space by using this and the luck die. If we fail, we're stuck here with toxic gas and spiders, not the worst thing. All right, so let's try that. So we're going to try to use this. The way this works, remember, is, sorry, it's not this. We could get a bonus movement, or we could get a failure, which means we don't move at all. Okay, so we got our bonus movement. So we can go 1, 2, and then +1 to go here. When you roll for the luck on the movement, no matter what you roll, if it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3, you only get 1 extra movement. So we got 3 total movement, which is exactly what we needed to get ourselves away from spiders and toxic waste. We may have to come back through here at some point. All right, now we do this. Morphing happens. If there's no butcher, spawn him. Okay, so the butcher comes out. Let's see if we've got a thing for him. Yes, we do, a tormentor. So let's go get out the tormentor miniature because we might as well. And look at this big giant thing. Okay, there he is. He looks pretty intimidating. It's a big giant thing. And he comes out right there out of that tunnel. Next, the red goes. The red says, if the butcher is in the dreamscape and you're in a toxic space, you seal a card, but we're not. So that doesn't happen. If we were in a space with a spider, we'd seal 2 cards. But that doesn't happen because there's no spider in this space. I wonder if, like, when we're on a card, I shouldn't bring it down here. So we had a good turn there, except we're far away from everything. So that turn is over, and our next turn begins. This is our turn card for this turn. So he's going to spawn out or add a morphing. And then the basic effect, which is if we're in range of him, we suffer a distress, and then he moves. Oh, did we move him yet? I don't think we moved him. We were supposed to move him. Okay, let's move him. All right, so we got this, which he moves his basic and then he rolls again. So this guy goes, his movement is 4. So he goes 1, 2, and then he can't get any further towards the gate. So he has to stop here, and he might turn to face the cat, but the cat will be flying far above and he can't reach him. So I think he might swing at him, but he's not going to catch the cat. All right, so he's stuck here. Now, and we're here. Now, the question I want to the thing I want to refresh my rules about is unfortunately, I thought maybe if we move this, he would disappear if he was on it. So if we were to move that, oh no, if it would have moved, he would have moved to a toxic waste. Okay, so that doesn't really help us or hurt us. Fine. Let's put that there. Okay, it's our next turn. We're out of cards, so we have to seal a card or suffer a distress. I'm just going to give us a distress to shuffle up our cards. Let's not forget to use our progress cards. In fact, now it's time. Each time you're reshuffling, you can discard the top 3 cards to put a charge on your shotgun. if we do that, it would increase the attack by 1, by 2. Otherwise, it does nothing? This shotgun does not seem that useful, to be honest. Except that it's range 3, but... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do it just for fun. I'm going to discard the top 3... Sorry, I guess we're going to have to figure out a better way to do this. I'm going to discard the top 3 cards of our deck to put a charge on this shotgun. Now the shotgun does 2 damage. 1 plus 1 progress card. There's our 4 cards. I don't love that shotgun. I like the bomb better. All right. So here's our hand of cards. It's all greens, really. We could block 1 step of the current turn card, which is here. So if we wanted to stop him from morphing, we could do that. We can use effort to do a 3 assault. But we're not going to be assaulting. It seems like we should be looking at that train tracks, don't you think? The train passage? It's not a train passage, it's a tight passage. Surely we're going to try that. Surely we're going to try that. So that's 1 yellow. One yellow. Is it better for us to be able to block any active item to restore 1 chosen item? Or gain 3. I don't think we're going to be fighting anything, so maybe I'm going to spend this effort here for the 1 yellow. Just because I don't think we're going to be fighting. So I'm going to discard that to do this, to examine this tight passage. 550. Will we be able to fit in there? Maybe. You may end this dream instantly. You may end this dream instantly. Or we suffer 2 distress, seal 3 cards, and discard all expiration tiles without any dreamers on them to the tile pool. So if we do that, we would, those are our only choices. We either end the game or we discard the exploration tiles without dreamers. Now, as soon as we did that, that's terrible for us. As soon as we did that, he would relocate to right in front of us. He'd come right down, breathing down our neck. Because that's what it says when you remove a tile. He's safely locked behind this gate here, but now we're going to remove these. Let's see. You may take an exploration tile off the dreamscape if we're far enough away. Then place it in a way that it is adjacent to any other exploration tile. So I don't understand how this rule works. If we discard these, I don't get it. If we discard these, what do we do? How do we get new ones out? The rules say that you shift them. So I don't understand. Normally, this is how we move the exploration tiles. We take an exploration tile, place it so it's adjacent to another one, and that there's a passage. So if we do this and take everything else off the board, how do we get it back on the board? I don't understand that. Should we double check the actual book? Okay. Boy, that is clear as mud. $5.50 says the exact same thing. Do you think it means that we would then replace them? Or does it mean that they're gone and we will have to do something like this action in order to bring out new tiles? That's, I guess, how I would read it. I'm guessing that these are gone and that it knows that on this tile we'll get the upper 4. Well, I can't say I love it. We were in a very good shape with this guy hidden behind his gate. What if we just end the dream right now? That's kind of insane. Boy, we got some bad luck here. All right, well, we're not going to end the dream. So we're going to suffer all of this stuff. We're going to suffer to distress. How do we want to do this? We're going to suffer to distress. And we're going to seal 3 cards. So the way you do that is you take them off the top of your deck as long as they're 3. Okay, well, that's terrible. This is the card that would let us jump around. That's now sealed. All right, we're having very bad luck this game. I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble this stream. And Discard all exploration tiles. Okay, so these 2 tiles go away, even though we went to the trouble to seal up that gate. And when we do remove a... Well, this says for this rule, do this. It does seem like that's the natural thing to do, but I am going to house rule and say, because this seems so brutal for us, that I'm not going to follow these rules for bringing him out. I'm going to put him off map. I think because the explanation is so terrible in the rules for what to do, I'm not going to follow these rules because we're not doing this part. So this guy's going to disappear. We're still in tough shape, though, because he is going to come out. But he's got no place to come out to. There's no red spawn point. Boy, that's weird. All right. All right, we took a lot of harm there. So I think the thing to do now is to pass, because we can hold 4 more cards, and I want to be able to go do this or this, and we can't quite do it yet. So we're going to pass. This is going to trigger. He would come out, but he can't come out because there's no spawn spot for him. So we just hear him in the background, but he doesn't come out. The basic effect goes out, which means he would attack us in range, but he's not out. Then he moves, but he can't move because he's not out. Very weird. Okay, here's our next turn. So until he comes out, Jonathan says, maybe we should just spawn him with us, then use an HR to get an extra movement and try rushing the stairs. I'm not going to spawn him with us. I think he may, if we had gotten to that point without having rolled the blue, he wouldn't be on the board. So I'm okay with this. We could have had a normal game and he wouldn't be out at this point. So I'm okay with this here. Let's take our next turn. 2, 3, 4. Because of our card, we have an 8-card hand limit. 7 cards in hand. Okay, so I want to see what those toys are about. So I think we will move here for 1. And then we are going to for 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's going to take us everything. Tell you what, let's use this to re-roll. So, no, that won't work. Yeah, we'll spend 5. And then if we get lucky, we won't need to spend this to get 6, and if we get unlucky, we'll spend this to get to re-roll it. So I'm going to spend 5, and I'm going to roll this to try to get the 6 that I need. No, let's do the flashlight instead to put the light out. So then we only are going to need 5. Let's see if we can keep it. We did keep the flashlight. Okay, so now it costs us 5, so we're going to spend these 5 to take a look at the toys. Reveal card E. We still have the little helpers as well. Yes, thank you. Good point. All right, card E. This card is active until this dream ends. Hey, you, come here. Each dreamer may move 3 spaces for free, or lure the butcher by throwing a piece of rubble in the direction of the voices. After using this card, return it to the secrets of this dream. Anything on this card that we should be aware of? That's weird. Okay, so we can use this whenever we want to move 3 spaces or lure away the butcher, which seems like it might be more useful. All right, so let's put this out on the board. Now, the spiders are not going to go this turn, so we don't have to worry about being on a space with spiders or on a space with toxic waste. However, we could go check out that hatch, but we don't have enough to do it. So maybe we just bypass this and go right up here. We could do this. We can check the upper floors, but I don't want to do it on an empty hand. I don't think there's any reason not to pass. So we're going to pass. We trigger end of turn. In fact, let me put this down here on our turn. So if the butcher was out, he'd hurt us, he'd move, he'd hurt us. Spiders don't go anywhere. That's our end of turn. Here's our new turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could cure one of our distress with this. That's not a bad idea. We've got 3, but maybe we want to use this. Maybe we want to use this when we've got more to heal. Retrieve an item. All right, well, let's go ahead and go do this thing. So I'm going to move to 1, 2 using this card. And then we are going to do check the upper stairs. We'll keep these in hand in case we need them with this card. All right, let's go ahead and check the upper stairs. If this doesn't open up new stuff, then we're going to have to rethink following these rules. So 104, it says. Presumably this is going to open up new rooms. The gallery barely holds. The floor is almost all holes and rust. Each step must be taken extremely carefully. At the end, we can see a passage. Okay, so the game is broken. This is not introducing new tiles. So it's clear that those last instructions about removing exploration cards were broken in some form. So we have to decide what to do. That's pretty ridiculous. That's pretty terrible rule explanation. So we're going to have to decide how to rule that. It told us to discard all the exploration cards that we weren't on, but clearly these had to have come out again. So I'm going to assume then that what it meant was that we were to discard them and put them out where we want. That's the only real logical way to make these rules not break the game. So we're going to put these cards where we want them. We've discarded them from where they were, and we're going to put them out where we want them to be. And this arrangement would let us get to the room we want to get to. So let's do that, and then we're going to put this guy out here. Oh, no, on his spawn space. All right, that's the best we can do. And now he's going to morph and come after us and try to attack us. But before he does it, we're going to do this. If you want to relocate to a random place, if you want to, we could try to jump to a blue space, which would be pretty great for us because we'd piggyback him and get close to where we want to go. Although there are some cool places we'd be skipping. But that's only a 1 in 6 chance of that happening. It's more likely that we'll relocate right on top of him, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Or we won't be able to move at all. But these actually are pretty good for us. So let's try it. Let's try to relocate. All right, so we did a blank, which would relocate us to him. We could just keep rolling. Even if all the other spaces were gone, we could keep rolling. I guess. Well, I see. What you're trying to say is even if these tiles weren't out, we could keep doing this and pop ourselves onto here. Yes, it's true, but it seems more likely to me that what it meant was that we should have re-put these out. The only question now is, do we want to relocate to his space? I think we want to re-roll. So we have a card that will let us re-roll. In fact, we can use the little helpers to re-roll once per turn. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we got a 2. According to this, for 2, we can relocate to the blue. So we're going to do that. We're up the stairs. Boop, boop, boop. We popped out right here. And in fact, there's a gate here. Our gate is here. So we're going to pop out here, and then we're going to try to close that gate so he can't get to us. So let's use these 3. In fact, let's use the flashlight. I mean, we might as well, to light this space up. And then see if we lose the flashlight, which we didn't. And then for 2, we're going to close that gate behind us. The only bad thing is we're not doing these actions. All right, but now we're a little bit safe from him. The spiders don't trigger this round. I guess we're going to move on to this. But there's no point in us rushing. Let's pass. I just don't, yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what people who watch this say we should have done for this rule. Maybe we take a break. Actually, maybe let's take a break. We're at 1 hour and 18 minutes. Let's take a break. Maybe I'll check the FAQ and see if I can find someone talking about this broken rule. I'll see you in 8 minutes. All right, I have gone and looked at the FAQ and a post on Board Game Geek, and the bottom line is that this is not well done. But there are a couple different answers. First, someone said, hey, when you read that rule about the type passage, when we read, you may end the stream instantly, or you may suffer 2 and seal 3 cards, that the way we should read that is that there's a third choice to do neither of those. That is clearly wrong. Then it looks to me like the Awakened Realms people say that when this card says discard all exploration tiles, we should sort of assume that means we discard them into our hand, at which point we can place them out again right away. That is clearly not, I mean, the proper answer from Awakened Realms should start with, we apologize, this is a mistake. And now here we're going to explain what to do. It does seem to me like once they come off the board, you put them back out. So that's what we've done now. After we've teleported, as Jonathan points out, we could have just sat there teleporting on the stairs. We don't know what's going to happen when we get into this room. The game clearly isn't over yet. There's already some more ambiguity here, but that's okay. In a normal game, I think this would bother me. But I think, you know what? We're in a dream world where it's okay. Let's just imagine that these rules came in a dream to the designers, and there are going to be cases where we're just going to have to use our best judgment. And I don't think there's a wrong or right. We're in a dream world. We have to just try to obey the dream rules. So we've got a gate up that will stop this guy from getting us. However, the spiders can still get us if there's a red action. There is no red action for us, though, so we're okay. So we could walk here, or we could try the hatch. We do have enough to get more cards in hand. I think the smart thing to do... Well, actually, within range... Each dreamer in range suffers 1. What is his range? Do we assume his range is 1? But he can't attack us through the gates. So I think we're just going to pass here. Now let's do this. So he morphs. So he's going to get one of his morph tokens. The token he drew was mask. We can't use our mask. Okay, that's pretty bad for us, actually, because it means we're not going to be able to hold up to 8 cards. We're going to be limited to 6. Then he tries to move. Okay. So he moves his base, which is 4. So he goes 1, 2, and then he gets blocked by the gate. Can't quite reach us. And now he would try to attack us for 1, but I'm in a rule that he can't attack through the gate. Spiders only go on red. Okay, so that's the end of that turn. Here's our next turn. We can only draw 2 more cards. We got our steam bomb. We could place our steam bomb for 4 or use our assistant to place it, which is what we're going to do. So the steam bomb is great. It can do 5 damage or be charged up. So we're going to place that out. We're going to flip the assistant since we're good at flipping cards. That's a good way to pay for it rather than paying the normal cost. Now we're going to walk over onto this. I'd love to hold on to some of these in my hand instead of spending them to walk. He's going to morph. He's going to do his basic effect, but the spiders won't work. However, our mask is still no good, so I think I got to use these. Boy, I'd love to keep these cards, though. All right, well, let's go ahead and walk onto that. It's a little nerve-wracking, but let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 yellow to walk 2 spaces. 1, 2. When all dreamers are on this tile, discard the butcher. So he disappears. That stays out. Take the 3 exploration tiles to your hand. Now, I'm assuming it means these 3. That's the only real explanation it could be, that these are our 3 exploration tiles. Do not put them back into the game. Flip this tile and put the dreamers on it. Okay, so here's where we're going to appear. In this new room, what have we got? We've got an old chair. We could rest for a while. That's got to be a good thing. We could descend down. What? What are we descending down? Can you see? Is it like a ladder? Or we can look into the void. I can't see the bottom, he says. What is this descend? Descend what? Like, what is all this stuff? I can't make out what that is. So this goes here. We're here. We're deciding where to start. Our cat has disappeared. I think the only natural thing would be he got to come back out here. There's no place for the butcher to spawn. What should we do? Should we start here and rest? And then walk here? And seal cards? Or is it a trap to try to rest? What do you think? Jonathan, you got a preference. Do you want to spawn here and rest, or spawn here and try to head straight for our... Yeah, let's rest, says Jonathan. Okay, we're going to pop here. And we are going to... Let's see, our exploration card stays out. All right, let's go ahead and rest. It's not dark on this tile, so it just cost us 1. Let's go ahead and spend this 1 green and put a block on it. That suggests it's going to be good. And we read 888. It's high time. The armchair is old and dirty, but fatigue makes me immune to such details. Phew. Each dreamer cures 1 distress. Okay, so there's 1 distress going away. Good. Now we have no yellow, so we have no move, unless we want to use the special card that lets us move 3, but there's no reason to. So we're going to stop here. There's no movement of the butcher. He's not out. Blue doesn't trigger spiders. So that's done. New turn comes here. We're out of cards to draw, so we're going to have to reshuffle our hand. That's going to cause us a distress. I don't think we can afford to seal anymore. So now we just got that distress back that we lost. We're shuffling up our hand. We do have a bomb. Oh, I took this off. There should be one here. Okay, so the nice part is there's no blue here. So at the end of this turn, even though the spiders act, the butcher won't come out. 4 cards. We need to get a bigger deck of cards. We're going through these too quickly. So there's a progress card that can come out, which we would like to get out. But we've got stuff to do. So we'll either move 2 to look into the void or move 3 and descend. We do have a movement of 2 or 3. We could theoretically do both. Do you want to look into the void, Jonathan? Oh, we could seal if we wanted to. We could seal as many as we want, but I do think we're going to have a hard time getting those back. And I think we want them back. So the question is, do we want to go into the void? I suppose we might as well go to, there's 2, and now we could look in the void or we could go move to the next space. Looking into the void requires sealing. Oh, wow, seal 3 cards. Whew. That's expensive. I see. Well, I don't know. Do we want to look into the void and seal 3 cards? That's pretty rough for us. I think maybe we can't afford it because our deck is so small. We've already sealed 3. All right, we're not going to look into the void. We're going to spend another yellow to move here, and then we're going to descend with 1 green. S834. All right, we avoided looking in the void. That's a hard choice for people who want to hear a story. It's not the end. This is not the heart of the underground yet. The underground stretches on. You can leave this room and move on, or stay here for a while. I mean, unless we wanted to look into the void, we're moving on. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. We've made our choice. We're not looking into the void. The corridor slopes downwards. It's getting harder and harder to get down. We almost slipped off. Lower and lower. Take the Z tile with 2 lights on the back. Okay. Place it on A4 face down. Okay, A4 face down. All right. Place expiration tile X as you want according to the expiration rules on the dream gate, and all dreamers in spawn spaces on this tile, and then Y goes the way we want, and then the Z that we're on disappears. Okay, so 1 more and we'll be on the 3 lights. Okay. All right, so X goes the way we want, and then Y as we want. Okay, that's the X and Y. That's what we're going to keep doing over and over again. As you want, and then all dreamers go, and it goes according to the rules. And the rules are... So it seems like the Y's can go in any rotation and the X can't, even though this doesn't really, as you want, according to the rules. There aren't really rules about X. Okay, this one is a bit broken, but all right, we can put this anywhere we want. And then we put the Y's where we want. But we're going to be on the X. Okay, so we are going to be on this X that we started in before. And this is where we want to go. So we could put ourselves here and then make our way blup, 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 right into A4. That's not bad. Maybe check the fan on our way. And then the Y tokens we can put and try to get the butcher far away from us. So this would be legal because this connects to this. But then there'd be no way to put this. But what if we did this? I mean, I'm assuming we don't want to go in here. So this would be a legal setup, putting us here. It would just be nicer if we could get the pink further away from us. Can we do that? No, we can't really get the pink further away from us. But as long as we could get... no, I guess we can't, but that might be the best we can do. So he'll spawn here, and then he can't get to us. Oh, but we can't get to it. I guess that's illegal. I guess. Could do this, though. So then he could get to us this way, but will have already gated him off by then. All right, I've put X and Y's, as the rules say. This is a very weird game. Is X allowed to put the X as you want? Put the expiration X out as you want, according to the expiration rules. But what expiration rules? I think the expiration rules it's referring to are just the ones that you have to be connected to it. And then put the Y as you want, according to the rules. So that's what we've done. So I'm putting us here. I'm removing the 3 light tile from the game. No butcher. And then we continue. So the cat is going to join us here. And where are we going to go? I guess we're going here because we want to get to here as fast as we can. We're not going into hidden restroom. I mean, there might be some cool stuff to discover, but we got to get out of this dream. We got to get out of this dream. I mean, this X does say B2. Do you think it means it has to be at B2? Why wouldn't it say that then? Why wouldn't it say, place expiration tile X as you want? As you want. I mean, if it had to go in B2, then it's not as you want. Boy, this dream, the second dream we're in, is broken as fuck. All right, but it is a dream. I'm going to keep reminding myself that. Let's just get out of this dream. This dream's broken. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. This dream is not working right. It's defective. Let's get out of here. So I'm going to put us here. We have no more yellow, but he's not going to morph. However, we are going to get bit by spiders. And we are, but not by the butcher. We'll have to seal 2 cards if there's a spider. There is a spider. There is a spider. So unless we can move ourselves here, the spider is going to get us. But I don't think there's a good way around that. I think we're going to have to let that spider get us. Unless we want to... Well, maybe we should use this before it's too late. What do you think? I mean, I hate to finish the stream without using this. But I did kind of want to use that fan. But we are going to get bit by spiders if we stay here. What do you think? Let's use the corner here. Okay, come here. Okay, so we're going to use this card now, which puts it back into the supply. We're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to just pop on that card. When all dreamers are on this tile, discard the butcher. That is a little bit of a waste, but okay. And then we're getting rid of the exploration tiles again. This dream is broken. All right, we're flipping this back over at A4, and here's where we are now. Heart of the Underground. Okay, look how cool this is. The black goo. For 10 wrath, we could inspect the black goo. Or, it's quite interesting. We could do this. Or, what's this machinery? Was it a laboratory once? Look through the dark window. Whoa, that's creepy. There's a hand reaching out. I don't think you want to look through that dark window with the hand leaking out. I think that's a trap. But I'm curious to check out the machinery and the black goo. All right, so this comes out and we're here. We're not going to go through the window. So let's start ourselves right there. Maybe we're almost out of this dream. All right, here we are. What's this machinery? And now we're going to end our turn here. There's no spiders and we're not in the dark. So we escaped getting hurt by that. So this happens and we're not in toxic waste either. So nothing happens from this card. Next turn is here. The butcher would come out, but he can't because there's no place for him to come out. We do get to draw our 4 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go and look at that machinery. And let's prepare to inspect the black liquid. So we're going to be able to bomb it for 5. We don't have a charge, so that's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can actually do the goo if we hold on to it. In fact, this could generate even more. All right, we're in good shape here. So we're going to move for 1 down to here. I don't see any secret signs. I see a door, but we can't go through the door. So let's take a look at that machinery for 1 green. Guess we've got a bunch of greens. I'd like to use that one to fight. I'm going to spend this. I'm going to overspend with this 2 green to do this. Look at the machinery. All right, here we go. — 209. The device bubbles and colored liquids overflow in glass containers. It looks like we can fill a container with one of the liquids. Could come in handy later. Gain one random toxin card from 234. Okay. Toxin cards are the T's. All right. Okay. All right, so we've got 3 toxin cards. And we're going to take one of them. Let's see what we got. Blue toxins. Each dreamer may unseal 5 chosen cards. Wow, that's great. Okay, so this is a note card. It means it just goes into our backpack. We can use it whenever. That's terrific. All right, that was a nice machine we discovered here. And it's not done yet. Here beats the true heart of the underground. From here, we would be able to make it back to the surface quickly. Everything seems so simple, yet still infinitely extensive and constantly changing. We see tracks leading to the great train station and a pipeline heading to the port. It would do us good to learn how to navigate the rail system in this foreign world. But then again, wasn't it at the port that we were supposed to pick up our package? The one mysteriously sent before we even began our journey. We don't know what you're talking about. The underground can take you anywhere you want if you know how to navigate it. The dream monger was right. The longer we stay here, the more we truly understand it, including the things we would rather not. But this is the only way we can regain our knowledge to learn our purpose here. The answers are out there. We just need to find them. So we can't deal with this black goo? I really wanted to fight the black goo. You're back at the Dream World map. This heart of the underground will always be here waiting for us. It sounds like maybe we're going to be back here again. But boy, this one did not seem like it went right. I feel we definitely did not have the intended experience with this dream. Sorry in advance to any previous Etherfields players if you were looking forward to this dream in particular. Let us know how it went for you. Yeah, what just happened? This feels like this dream was really broken. Are we going to be back down here, though? I wonder. Look, return to the endless basement. Can you see that, Jonathan? Return to the endless basement. So we're going to have another chance to deal with this black goo. Okay, so I don't feel so bad. Each dreamer gains 1 ether. Cures 2 or unseals 2. Well, I mean, we've got 3 of each, and we're going to be able to unseal or cure 2 again. I think we need to unseal 2. I think we need to unseal 2. So they have to take off the top. So I'm going to unseal these 2 on the top. They go in our discard. Remove the Z tile with 2 lights on the back from the game. So we're never going to have to deal with the 2 light room again. That's this one with the black goo. All right, that's out of the game, huh? We don't get to go back to the black goo. I really don't understand what has happened with this game. Gain card 1, the Signs Wisdom card. Gain card I. Okay, so we've got some new wisdom. Take all sign tokens. You can keep them anywhere, like in the search. You may always look at both sides. Okay, these are some cool new tokens we haven't seen yet. Each dreamer keeps their sign tokens next to their dreamer board. Whenever a player notices a fragment of art on any game element currently in play that matches the fragment, they may resolve the back of that sign token, then remove it. So let me show you what it's talking about here. We've basically unlocked something new. I'm going to get it out for you here. So there's some tokens here that are special sign tokens. And we're playing the engineer. All of his are here. So here's something I don't really I didn't realize the way the rules were going to work, but now I do. It's a little annoying now because these are all special events, but we have to keep our eye open for these pictures. And if we see these pictures, then we trigger it. So here's a red house. That one's easy enough. That's some red blood tentacles. But then some of these, this is like string, but some of these are so dark. Are we ever going to notice them? All right, well, we will have to scan them and keep them on a piece of paper because obviously we're not going to be able to keep bringing them out. It's a neat idea, but I didn't realize it was going to be a micro, macro, Where's Waldo type mini game. I'll just put those off to the side for now. Okay, that's the signs. We'll scan that and print that out. Now let's see what else we've got. Gain the W Echo Dream World map tile. Okay, so we've got another Dream World tile. I guess that's this one here. So we've discovered a new Dream World, although this is the version 2 map. If we want the version 1, it looks completely different. Is that right? This is 114W. No, 113W. Here. Okay, so here is the version 2 version of the map, and here's the version 1. This is the version we've been playing with. So I guess we're going to bring this out into our world map. Where is it? Here? Yes. Okay, and this one we'll just put away. All right, so that's that. Now tile 236D to the slumber deck. So we got a new slumber creature. Is it going to be that tormentor we just saw? Is that how it works? Like after you fight them in a dream, then they come into your slumber? 236D. No, it's just a blank slumber. Okay, so I add this to our slumber tiles at the top. Restore the 3 shopping cards. Well, we already have 3, so we can't do anything there. Discard the current dreamscape. Okay. Discard it, but don't get rid of it from the game. I'm a little bit confused now for a moment. This was the 3 light? We went downstairs and we brought out the 2 lights. Then we get rid of the 3 lights from the game. We get rid of the 2 lights from the game, but not the 3 lights. I don't really understand how that can be. Because if you go down the stairs... Alright, well, let's not worry about it. Remove the dream gate, this crazy broken dream called the basements are calling. I guess we're going to be going back down to this basement. Remove it from the game, and now we've got the new go back down there tile dream. $239W. Okay, so we can go back down to that basement in this new dream. And we get rid of the dream we were just in. And we also get another dream, 239L. So, okay. We've got 2 new dreams we've discovered now. Investigation into the foggy docks, and N to catch a train. The 2 starting slumber map, and we go into a slumber. We're now back on the dream world map. But this heart of the underground will always be here waiting for us. Okay, clearly we're going to get back. Were we supposed to get rid of the 3 lights earlier? That's why I'm confused about this. Remove the tile Z with 2 lights from the back of the game. You want to go and see in the history... It says, remove the Z tile with 3 lights from the game. From the game. So, is that what we did? The 2 lights got removed from the game. And then the 3 lights also get removed from the game. Okay. So these are both gone. But this one remains. And this one has the black goo or something on it. All right, so... Boy, that was weird. That was very weird dream. All right, where are we in this world? I guess we are... we just came out of this gate, right? And it says, put out the slumber. Thank God for this app. We're back in the dream world, presumably where we came in. We've got now a total of 4 dreams available to us. One of them is green. Gate to an old dream. For 1 key, we can go back into Pandemonium. So it seems like we might want to wait for that. Train might be fun to learn how to use trains. Or we could go into the one to rest, since we do have a bunch of this stuff. So if we go down here, we can jump anywhere. We could jump and do some shopping. We could jump and do some shopping here. Let's see where our dreams are. So the dream that we knew about before, the sunshine days, is here. Can I zoom in on this better for you? Okay, so this is the dream where it says you could rest a bit. So when we're here, we can go anywhere else. So we could go right to there and go into that dream. Or we could go and say, I have to catch this train in suburbia. So I guess we'd have to be into this dream gate here to catch that one. That's a 7-turn game. The rest is 12. Or we could go into the foggy docks in the Echo realm. Or we could go back to the basement by cycling around. But we're gonna have to leave Pandemonium. And we have no keys, so we're gonna have to do some slumbers to get keys or shopping. I guess we should be going shopping and getting some keys. So from here we can jump anywhere. So maybe we should have a plan about what dream to go into next. Seems like maybe the restful one. So if we went here and shopped, then we could go here, here. How do we get here? And then shortcut to here. So we start here. Then we go slumber, slumber, shortcut, dream. I think that might make sense for us. Alternative, we could go shopping and then nothing, slumber, fate, fate, slumber, fate. I think this is our best bet. Shopping here, slumber, slumber, shortcut there. I think that's where we go. But Jonathan says we might need to get keys. You could get keys in dreams too, but you're saying, should we jump directly to a key location? What does the sanctuary do again? Sanctuary is each dreamer chooses one. Reshuffle, unflip, unseal, or restore an item. So we could plan to get a key, go to a sanctuary, but then what? Then gain a flaw? Don't like that. I think I want to go shopping next. Metropolis, Pandemonium, Echo, and Suburbia. We could pop here and get a key, then go here and go shopping, and maybe we get another key on our way, and we could go right into the train. All right, so here's our choices. John says, I think in V1 the only way to get keys was the key spaces. I'm not sure that that's true. All right, here are the choices I've got for you, Jonathan. Either shopping and then have some slumbers and plan to go into this restful dream if we get enough keys, or we could play it a little more safe and get a key and then a slumber and then shopping. And then maybe we'll have enough to go get the train. And if not, we'd have to cycle back around and go shopping again and then go into the train. So what do you want to do? Do you want to, I suppose if we do this thing, we can jump back up here and go to this dream if we wanted. So maybe we should start and get this key. Is that what we should do? Key slumber shopping. Okay. So we're going to pop ourselves, we're going to go down here, relocate to outside pandemonium. We're going to go here. Because we're on the version 1 map, we get a key now. Now we have to do a fate and a slumber. So let's put our dreams aside. Everything else stays out. This gets put away. I'll just put it off for the side for now. These all get put away. Okay. So now we need fate and slumber. Why are these special? Oh, I think when they go in the back, they don't get shuffled. Okay, so here's our fate card. If each dreamer seals 1 card, relocate the team to the chosen location of this. Do we want to take a tiny break to break up the segments? Yes. Okay, yes, let me just do this first. If Dreamer seals 1 card, relocate the team to the chosen location of this Dream World map tile. So we could jump somewhere which would let us get another key right away if we wanted to. So let's just make this decision first right away. If we wanted to, Jonathan, we could right now jump here, take another fate, and then walk right here and get our second key. Is that a smart thing to do? Okay, Jonathan says yes, let's do that. So we're going to seal a card. So I just take the top card from our deck, which is an effort card. I seal it. And I move us back to any space we want on the Dream World, on this Dream World tile. Okay, so then this goes at the bottom of this, this goes at the bottom of our fate deck, not shuffled. And then, as Jonathan says, we are going to take a break and come back and I guess do it again unless Jonathan feels like it's time to call it a night. I feel like I could keep going and at least do some shopping, but why don't we take a 5-minute break and we'll come back and decide what to do. All right, we're back. I'm trying to decide whether we should quickly get our second key or whether we should try to make it so we can go shopping twice. And I'm just trying to remind myself if when you go shopping, you can only buy one card. Maybe it says here. Key may resolve one shopping note card. Okay, and we have the shopping note card, which says buy influence cards. If you do, but you do not buy any cards. That does not really answer the questions. That is unfortunately not an answer to that question. When you go shopping, it says see page 14. If you're instructed to buy influence cards, each dreamer draw the top 3 cards, buy any number of them. So it's possible with 6 ether we might find 2 we need and not have to go shopping twice. That would save us quite a bit of time. All right, given that, I think we should then... So we could jump ourselves from here to here and then plan to go shopping twice before the dream. But I think given that we might find everything we need in one shopping, let's try to do it as quickly as possible. So we did the fate and jumped ourselves back here, which I guess requires us to take another fate. Here's what we got. Each dreamer seals 2 cards, or search the slumber deck for the Delta phase, reshuffle, and put it at the bottom. So our Delta phase is not that close to the top. There are 2 slumber, because we got a slumber tile. So it's just 2 more slumbers if we shuffled it. I think I'd rather do that. Get ourselves more interesting slumbers and not seal any more cards. We just don't have that many more cards. Okay, so we've made it take longer to get to our slumber, our Delta phase. And that was our fate, and now the fate gets put in the discard. And now we go here. We get our second key, so we can go into another dream. And now we have to take another fate card. Let's see what we got this time. Need a lift? Place this card on the side of the Dream World map. You may discard it to use a shortcut without suffering its cost. Nice. Okay, and then these all got thrown away. This butcher and his cards, they'll all get shuffled back, including these cards. Okay. Now we have to have a slumber. If we can remember how to have a slumber. All right, let's see if we can't remember how to do a slumber. So the first thing we do is we re-randomize this. So we're going to turn over what this is. It may not be an encounter. It may just be something happens. All right, well, unfortunately, it is a Wraith encounter. So we could just skip it. Let's put it out. I guess since we don't remember how to do it, we should put it out. Now, the thing that I'm not 100% clear on now is how we left this. Like, I think this was the new card. And there are 2 starting cards. And I know if we awakened, we would just put out these 2. But we have discovered these in previous turns before we awakened. I can't remember. Okay, guys. Okay. What is making it upset? What green is making it think it should zoom in? This? The question is, does it start with just these 2? I'm not even supposed to see this one. I don't even know where that gets shuffled. It really makes life hard that these things don't reset. I mean, we cleared it when we went into a dream, but after you finish a slumber, in general, there's a lot of complaints about this rule book, but I don't really have much complaints about it. But this is the one area that I find painfully inadequate, is this discussion of what to do with these setups when you finish them, because there's some very weird, unusual rules about stuff staying. This would be really a nice place to have our Etherfields players in the channel helping out. But I suppose that's asking too much. Let's just read this slumbers. At the end of the first dream for each subsequent game, this deck is set up by placing all the slumber tiles you have accumulated throughout the course of the game on top of the delta phase. The slumber deck will change. Okay, we did all that, but now here's the map. The slumber entities will occur on the slumber dreamscape map. During awakening, and after concluding every dream, clear the dream map tiles and put the 2 starting ones. The rest of the tiles are shuffled and put face down. Okay, that's fine. So because we were in a dream, we reset back to only 2. Okay, yes, it did say, you're right, that the end of that thing, which we have here, did say, but it was weird. Instead of saying put away the dream tiles that are not the starting ones, it says put them out, which is a little bit more complicated because clearly we don't want to put them out on this board if we're not doing a slumber. All right, so here we are. Remember, we're having a slumber again. So here we go. Spawn the Wraith. So the Wraith, which we decided, all right, this is good practice, even though it's really not. The Wraith is one of these crazy things. Here, this was the Wraith. All right, so the Wraith comes out and he spawns in his spot, which is there. And we spawn on one of our 2 spaces, and so far we've been spawning ourselves here. We need 7 green to light up a tile. Our tile is already bright. To get rid of him, we need to assault him or use cunning on him to chase him away, and it has to be in a light room. So on this tile, or on a tile here that we light up. And if we do, we get the loot on the turn card. So we only get 4 turns. So far, we've been able to get rid of him in 4 turns, but let's see if we can do it this time. Here's our first turn. So he's going to hurt you if you're in darkness. Then he's going to morph and get rid of all brightness, and then he's going to move. So he won't be attacking us after he moves. So as long as we keep distance, we're fine. Now, if we kill him on this turn, we can restore an item, which wouldn't be bad because we've only got 2 items. But maybe it would be better for us to restore something. So let's draw our hand. Right now we've got 4, so we can only hold 3 more. The full hand, though. We might be able to walk right over to him and get rid of him immediately. Let's see. So if we could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and shine the flashlight, we could, and then generate 7 green, we could get rid of him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we need to be able to walk 3. We probably could do it. There's 4, 5, 6. We might be able to do it with 6, 7. Flashlight, walk 2, walk 3. So we could actually do it all in one shot. The only question is, do we want to do it in one shot, or would we actually rather take 2 turns and do a little more preparation? Like we could deal this out, we could progress this. A little dangerous though. But I wonder if we should push our luck a little bit. Of course, he could morph, and then I don't know what. He might be harder to kill, or... Oh, or in a night space. Yeah, but we don't have to be in a night space. So if we use this ability, discard, unflip, discard this card for 3. If we spent 3, we could flip this and then build this out. It's not that useful, though, to be honest, at this point. Why would we want to make this take longer? I don't think we do. I don't think we need to make this take longer. It doesn't help us, really. So I'm just going to get rid of him. There's our 7 we're going to use to... Oh, it's 7. Sorry, it's 7 to put a token out. That was wrong. We need 7 red to... So 2, 3, 4. Here's 3. That's 5, 6. Okay, so there's our 7 red. And then 1, 2, 3 to move to him. Okay, fine. All right, so here's our 3 yellow. 1, 2, 3. Then we need to flashlight to put some brightness in this room. Now we have to see if we could, if we're going to lose that flashlight. All right, well, we didn't lose the flashlight. That's good. So now we can strike him down. 2. Oh, we have to eat a distress to use this, but we're going to do it. So for a distress, that's a reason not to try to rush this, because I'd rather not. Wow. Let's just do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I suppose I could do this instead. 3, 4, 5, 6. No, let's just do it. All right, so these stay in our hand. That's 7 assault. 6 assault or 7? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't need to use that one. 5, 6. Okay, so that's 6 assault. And we've gotten rid of him. We've chased him out. We gained this loot to restore an item. We don't have a quirk card, but we do have an item we can bring out. It says restore 1 item. It doesn't say we get to choose. I think that means we get a random item. What about the shotgun? Yeah, maybe we should use the shotgun instead of taking... That's a good idea. Rather than using this to gain 3, let's do 1 plus 2. Let's spend this for the 3. And we'll keep this in our hand and not have to take a distress. That's a good decision. Okay, that was a good decision. So the shotgun is discard the charge to gain 1 plus the number of yellow cards. In fact, if it's an assault, increase its range to 3. So actually, rather than having to move, 3, 1, 2, 3, we could stay here. 1, 2, 3. And then we wouldn't have had to do this, and it doesn't matter. So we could only move 1, so we keep this in our hand and discard that. Okay, boy, that's messy, but... All right, now we get the loot, which gets us an item card. I think when it says restore an item, it doesn't say an item of choice, so we just get a random one. So here we got, during a contact, you may discard this to gain 6. Okay, so we've got a little Spring Perfumes item card from our storage. And we've completed this slumber. These technically stay out, but that's fine. Now we're back here, and now we go here, which is nothing. Now we go here, and we have another slumber. Let's see if we're going to have to fight someone else. Now, that slumber of the Wraith goes to the bottom of the deck. Jonathan says, we're still getting the strategies down, so I'm okay with it being a little messy. I think that's right. Okay, here's our next slumber. It's someone new. All right, let's see what we've got. So it is going to be an actual slumber in our same slumber setup. According to the rules, we stay where we left off. So we actually are here, not here. Boy, that's a mess. I really think there were some bad decisions made there. That was not necessary to make it so hard to keep track. Was the space we walked through not a sanctuary? I don't think that is a sanctuary. No, it's not a sanctuary. It's like a... Here, let me bring it down here. It's not a sanctuary. It's a train yard. So here's where we went through. That's a train yard, and there's what the sanctuary looks like. The sanctuary is two round on top of each other, and this is a train yard, which I think will do something at some point. Yeah, look, see how it says train station, no effect until you find the railway wisdom card, but I think that's the dream we're headed for. I think we are headed for the railway, so maybe that's good. All right, let's see what we got here. Messy, that is the word for this game. All right, so it's a nightmare janitor. I think we met this guy recently. So we're bringing out our new map. We're starting out where we left off, still in the light. We spawn a human shapeshifter. Okay, a human shapeshifter is one of these. Maybe this one. There's a human shapeshifter, I believe. So he starts out there. All right, let's see. How do we get rid of him? We assault him or contact him to put a dirt token in his space. Then we can move him one space in a chosen direction. When there's dirt in each space on B2 and B3, it's victory. We're only allowed 3 turns to put 8 spaces of dirt? Okay, now let's see what happens. He can morph, which would discard all dirt from a tile that from every space we're on. If he's in range, we suffer a damage. If it's red, we discard all the dirt from the tile occupied by the janitor. Boy, that sounds really annoying. And then if we're out of turns, or if we skip it, we seal 3 cards. All right, this seems a little annoying to me, but let's go through the paces. So if there were more tiles, the game would be considerably more pleasant. The fact that we can't push him off B2 and B3, and anytime a red card comes, all the dirt on his tile will disappear and set us back 4 actions. All right, well, what can you do? So the first turn is this. So he's going to move, and then he's going to hurt us if we're within run range of him, and then he's going to morph and discard any dirt from any space we're on. But look, if we can beat him in this turn, we're going to get this secret card, but I don't see how we can beat him in 1 turn. All right, let's go ahead and get our full hand size. Okay, there's not enough cards in our hand, so we're going to have to take another distress. We're halfway to being dead. But I feel like sealing cards is just as bad. I could discard 3 to put a charge on the shotgun, but I'm scared about going through this deck too quickly. So there's our hand. In the space occupied by the... This is kind of ridiculous, actually. We have to be near him, and then we keep pushing him Okay, I don't think this is going to happen, and it's going to cost us seal 3 cards, and if we run out of cards, we seal 3 cards. No. Let me just remind myself about reshuffle, seal 3 cards. So if we have to reshuffle, it's as bad as just skipping this. All right, well, let's just try this just to see what it's like, but we can only put dirt where he is. That's exactly right. But we can move him when we put dirt. All right, let's just try this. So we spend 2 yellow to move 2. And then we spend a red to put dirt in his tile. Does it say what you're supposed to use for a dirt tile? Place 1 dirt token. I guess we just put something out there. And then we push him. I guess we push him onto us. And then we do it again. To put another dirt on his tile and push him. And then we do it again. This time wasting a green to put a dirt on his... I see we're going to be in a bit of a trouble here. I should have maybe pushed him the other way. Okay, well anyway, this pushes him. Then I move 1 and I assault him for 1, which puts another dirt on him. And push him here. Would have been better to do that. Assault him with this. Okay, I think we have to undo this. This is pretty annoying, but I have to discuss something that's pretty important. Pretty important rule. So I'm undoing this whole turn. Okay, let me explain a very weird rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we had a full hand. Okay, so we're here, he's here. All right, so notice this rule here. We can assault, and for 1, we do 1 per player, which is 1 for us. We do this thing, but let me show you this very weird rule. Okay. Boy, this would be of any time to have players of this game here to remind us. This would have been the session, but all right, it's okay. I happen to know this rule, but look at this weird rule. Look at this tiny little one sentence. You can bold the effect of an assault or contact action by paying its cost multiple times. For example, if an assault costs 3, you could pay 9 to do it 3 times. You can even choose different targets. So I still think this whole fight with this guy feels brutally unpleasant and busy work. However, if we do this, then I think what we're looking at is, let's try it again. We're going to move 1. No, we need to move 2. So we move 2 to go here. And then we can do this for 2. So first we put a dirt on him and move him. I think he still has to be within range. So for this 2 card, we're doing him twice. And then we're going to do it again like this. We're going to I guess we need to be able to. We assaulted him and moved him, assaulted him and moved him. Okay, fine, right. Now we can only do it once. So we're going to do this. This to assault him and move him. Then we're going to move 1. And now we're going to do this twice to assault him and move him, assault him and move him. That's our 2. And now what we'd like to do is do it once more so that we can push him away from us. Maybe we walk into his space first for 1, and then we're going to do this twice. We're going to assault him and move him. And with our second attack, we're going to assault him and move him. And then we're here, and I guess we're going to hold on to this. I suppose we could end this game right now. This must be spent. We could end this game right now, but we're not going to. All right, I'm going to roll for him to move. He's going to move 1 space closer to us. I guess we'll move him here. Then he's going to do his basic effect, which is, if we're in range, suffer a distress. This is the part of this game I don't get. Like, Surely it would have been better for us. Like, a distress is as good as sealing 3 cards. We could have just ended this whole thing. All right. Then he morphs. So he takes a random morph, which gives him +1 range. I think we're quickly going to, well, we'll discuss it in a second. Discard this turn card, so we don't get that. Next turn comes up, it's this one. If it triggers, he would discard all the dirt from this tile. But we're gonna hopefully kill him on this round. So 4 cards, 2, 3, 4. At least we've got an interesting thing. We're going to resolve a secret loot, which is kind of fun. All right, so let's go kill him. So we're going to move with 1 yellow. We don't actually have to move, but I guess we're going to have to. So I'm going to move with 1 yellow onto his space, and then I just need a 2 attack. Let's go ahead and use this 2 green as our attack. So our first attack puts a dirt and pushes him, and our second attack at range puts a dirt and pushes him. But now we've covered every space. So when there's dirt in every space in B2 and B3, we have a victory. So we did it. It was not a pleasant activity at all. We caught a distress. In fact, maybe I gave us 2 distresses when I really undid a thing. I'm not sure. We're almost dead. We could easily die in the next dream because we should rest, but with 2 keys, we don't want to rest. Let's not overthink it. We do get the loot from this card, so the only, I think I may have given us 1 more than we should have gotten, I'm not sure, but the only silver lining here is we get some cool secret card loot, which might be fun. So 234M. Let's see what that is. And then I want to talk a little bit about this. So the lowest number, 234M. So how many of these 234Ms are there? There are a total of 5. This is 1 of 5. Mystery Path, Step 1. It's like a woman's statue with a mustache or milk on her face or something. Now, don't forget, we have to be looking for these graphics everywhere we go. Like, this isn't that, right? I don't think it is. All right, let's see what this mystery path is that we have to get all of these, 5 of them, to unlock it. You follow a strange path. It's not known where it will lead you. Each dreamer gains an ether, then remove this from the game. All right, well, I like getting an ether. I don't see that graphic on any of our symbol tiles. It's someone walking on a bridge in the air with statues staring at them. Okay, remove this from the game. All right, well, maybe entering a new dream is going to help us get rid of some of this distress, because we are in trouble here. All right, so we got rid of this slumber. Now, let's talk about this for a second, Jonathan. So when we started playing Etherfields, we started using the stage 2 version of the map to avoid the slumbers, which people complained about. And we said, hey, why are people complaining about these slumbers? They're kind of fun. I think it's only taken us a couple games to see how not fun this is. This was just busy work, punishing busy work. Like maybe the first time it's slightly less than painful. but the idea of having to do this, fighting this same guy multiple times. What is this thing in the bottom? Dirt, use blank, max 1 dirt per space. What does that mean? What does that mean? Not clear. I think it's telling you the component to represent dirt. Ah, I see. It wants me to use the generic things for the dirt. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I found this really not fun. And the idea that you could get unlucky with the turn cards and have him undo your progress, the idea of him completely undoing progress constantly, that just seems really annoying to me. That feels like a very, very annoying slumber. And I suddenly can see why people want to skip slumbers. So I think I'm quickly joining. I also think like we did that very quickly, very efficiently. And it seems to me that we would have come out ahead if we had skipped it. Other than that mystery path. Maybe if you had 4 players, everyone could use a card to push them around quickly. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. All right, well, he's gone. It's okay. And now we put this away and we go back to the dream map where we can now go shopping. So let's go shopping. We've got 3 shopping cards. We're going to spend one of them. I believe they're all the same. You can buy influence cards or go to the item market. Well, I think we want to buy influence cards. So we get out the deck of influence cards. We don't shuffle it. Why are these cards back here? Because these aren't influence cards. The influence cards are here. Okay, so here's our influence card deck. And some of them got pushed to the back that we didn't choose. So they don't get shuffled till we awaken. The official rules say we take 3. I'm going to already make a house rule that we can go shopping twice in one go, which will let us look at 6 cards. Let's do that. We still can only spend our set, but normally we would get 3 cards and buy as many as we want. Now I'm spending 2 of our shopping cards to let us go twice now. So we have 7 ether total. These are in our hand. Let's take a look at our cards we can buy. Okay, I'm not sure you can actually see these. Analysis. It's a progress card. If we place it, our hand size goes up by 1. Pretty great to have another progress card. And we're good at putting progress cards, so I would very much lean towards that one. It also only costs 2. Some green progress cards would have been nice, yeah. Okay, let's look at what repeat is. Costs 3. Repeat the action you just performed, including all bonuses, and then you seal this card. And it's only during an assault. I don't love it. So, shiny. Discard 2 cards from your hand, one with a red wrath and one with a yellow to gain 3 gems. That's amazing. I'll take it. That's 4 worth of ether. We've got 3 more left. We could buy insight for 3. You may take a 5-second peek at any one of the secret cards of the current dream. It's kind of fun. We would not be strict about that 5-second rule. So it's a 3 or a 1. I like that. And I think just having more cards is good for us. We could buy another inner light, which lets us light up spaces. That's always good. Or we could get uncontrolled flight, which is you just roll the luck die. If it's an X, you move a space and suffer. Otherwise, you move 3 spaces, or you relocate to any space. I mean, relocate is pretty huge. It's not a great card here, though. And you can really get hurt. 1 out of 6 chance you suffer a distress. But if you have rerolls, I guess I'm inclined. You want uncontrolled fight, not insight, huh, Jonathan? I suppose with enough things we can make that work for us. 3 spaces, relocate. Yeah, that's pretty good. Which one saved you? Genetics, uncontrolled flight, or insight? All right, it sounds like it's uncontrolled flight, and so I think uncontrolled flight. At the same time, you have ladder too. Yes, we do have the ladder. The ladder's pretty good too. But the ladder has to be used in the dark. Insight's a little annoying to use, but we can use this. I could go either way. I mean, uncontrolled flight's pretty good. That gives us like some good movement. Let's take uncontrolled flight. All right. So we don't get these 3. They go at the back of the influence deck. This costs us 6, ether 2, 4, 6. We still have one left. Just having more cards is good. These go on our discard pile. And here we are in the shopping, and we can go one more up to the Dream Gate in Suburbia. And we do have a dream in Suburbia. It's a train station. We spent 2 shopping cards. And here we are here. Now, we're only going to be able to cure 1 distress. This is a little scary for us because we're going to walk into this with half our distress. And a bunch of sealed cards. But, I mean, surely we're going to want to walk into this dream. All right, let's decide what we're going to do here, though. It's time for another break. It's 1:22 a.m. We've been playing for 3.5 hours. What do we want to do? Do we really want to go into another dream now? Or do we want to call an end to this session and enter this dream on our next session? We should be smart. Probably we should stop here and then enter a dream on our next session when we're fresh. Yeah, we should do that. We should stop here. It's tempting to play another dream, but if we play another dream, then we have to do all of the slumber again. I think we should stop here. Why was it rough? Have you only encountered slumbers? You could watch this session, fast forward through it. You'll see, you'll see why it was a rough session. It was a dream we were in that felt like it was a little bit broken. Look at that line that's sitting there in the green screen. Look at that. What is that? Why is that like that? All right, we're going to stop here. That was a little bit of a rough Etherfield session. That was not as pleasant as our previous playthroughs. Maybe it's time to go to version 2 map. I think it might be time to go to version 2 map. All right, thanks for joining me, Jonathan. Please comment if you've played that last mission we've played. And I'd like to hear how you feel about that dirt slumber and the idea of playing that multiple times. We did unlock the symbols tokens, which are interesting. Now we have to keep our eye open for these. I guess we're going to make some scans of these to keep making it a little more easy. And we're going to have to start strategically thinking about having an awakening after this dream. It is a little weird that you have this awakening that's basically cost-free if you haven't accumulated gems and keys. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, we're going to stop here. We'll figure out when we're going to play again offline in the Discord. I would like to hear from you. If you're an Etherfields player, if you watch this session, give us some advice, some thoughts. It feels to me like we are taking damage at a pretty high rate here. All right, I'll see you next time.